Justin, my husband, was just sentenced, well, like last week, to 47 months in federal prison. And I'm thinking of divorcing him. What do you think? Well, I'm not a divorce attorney. Certainly I wouldn't want you to get divorced. Like, what happened? She's like, I'll tell you what happened. I'm okay with the fact that he's going to prison. He made a bad choice. He's going to prison. I get it. He made a bad choice. I love him. I support him. He's a good husband. He's a good father. We got 3 kids. I'm a grandparent. But let me tell you what I cannot stand. It's destroying our life. All day, he's on the couch complaining, blaming, excusing. He gets on the phone with our kids and says, don't worry, I'm going to get through this. You have nothing to worry about. Then all of us look at his daily actions where they're totally inconsistent with the promises that he is making. It has to stop. Please help it stop. Before I get into more of the details, welcome to the White Collar Advice channel. Justin Paperny here. Super grateful that you're here. I actually received this call last week, and following the call, this very nice woman and her husband, who eventually joined the call, said, we really want you to post this video with hopes that it helps other people. So she texted me on the way to school. She's like, I haven't seen the video. Where's the video? I said, I told you I would film it. I didn't promise you when. Relax for a second. I'll get to it. She's like, please film it as soon as you can. This is a good time because I will be filming a documentary later today in Los Angeles. So let's knock this thing out with hopes that it helps all of you going through this really difficult experience. So hearkening back to this phone call, she said, he sits around all day doing absolutely nothing. So he's compounding the problem. We have the sentence and the looming prison term, but now it's the emotional devastation and the blaming and excusing that is reaching a point where it is simply not sustainable. What can I do? I said, well, what have you tried to do? She's like, oh, I've tried. I said, well, give me an idea. She's like, I sent him that New York Times article on your company, but 2 minutes in, he said, I don't have the time to read a 45-minute article. He then got back to TV. I said, okay, what did you do next? She's like, I sent him the damn podcast, and about 3.5 minutes in, he said he didn't like the voice of the guy reading the podcast. He wouldn't listen. I'm like, okay, what else are you doing? She said, one day I said to him, your children are watching. Do you remember, Jim, at the soccer games when they would post those signs of the kids and it would say in there, your children are watching, behave accordingly? You have set this example for our children over a lifetime, and now because you're going to prison, which I know is awful for all of us, you were responding in a way that is making harder for them, and they're worried. And they're concerned about your health and your choices and your actions. Do you understand that, Jim? Can you embrace that, Jim? Are you willing to change, Jim? Yes, I'll change, but of course he doesn't. So a message for all defendants. Thousands of people will reach out to our community every single month, thousands. And when we speak with them, most defendants always say the same thing, which is the buzzwords. I want the shortest sentence. When I go to prison, I want to get out as quickly as I can. I want more liberty in the halfway house. Though it's unfortunate how many might say it and not actually do a damn thing. We talk at great length about stakeholders, a cynical judge, a cynical case manager. They think we're trash. They think we're scum. They think we are inveterate criminals, incapable of reform. Not all, but some of them do. So how do you overcome that? I asked Jim and Linda on this phone call. Jim, thank you for getting on the phone. She had to drag him to get on the phone. I'm not coming. I'm not getting. Jim, get your ass on the phone. I don't want to be forced to get on the phone. Do you want me to divorce you? Come and get on the phone. I'm thinking. Now, I had to ensure that Jim got on the phone because I knew everything I articulated to Linda. She would say, that's exactly what I want to do. That's what he needs to do. But it's no good to get buy-in from her if Jim's not going to do it. I also told her, I don't want you to threaten him or guilt him into doing the work. There's got to be some motivation behind it. Please get him on the phone. He's like, fine. Reluctantly, he's on the phone. He's like, what? What, Paperny? It's Paperny. What? Thank you, Jim, for listening to 2.5 minutes of the podcast. And apparently you couldn't get more than 5 minutes. What do you want to talk about? Jim, what's your highest value? Help me define success. The government ruined my life. They're crooks. I pled guilty. That was the biggest crime I ever committed. I should have gone to trial. I had the money. I should have gone to trial. These damn crooks ruined my life. Okay. You pled guilty. Is that correct? Yes, I just told you that I pled guilty. I should have gone to trial. I signed a fake made-up plea agreement because my lawyer scared the hell out of me. I should have gone to damn trial. I cannot believe that I'm here. I've gotten totally screwed. Jim, let me ask you again. What is success for you? I just want to get home to my damn family. Is that enough? Because the way you're behaving and acting, do you recognize that even if we get you home as quickly as you want, if you're not prepared for life on the other side, if you're going to let this experience define the rest of your life, I'm not sure they want you to get home so quickly because they don't want to watch this behavior every single day. So don't say you're open to retaining our team if we can get you the maximum halfway house time, because we may help you get it. And then there's more trouble on the other side. Like your wife who loves you for more than 30 years, threatening to divorce you because all you do is sit, complain, and excuse all day. Can you understand that? Can you understand? People who love you are willing to overlook the conviction and prison term, but you are compounding it. You are embracing this concept of the status quo, which means you like the way things are. Jim, do you like the way things are? You still haven't identified what success is, other than the buzzword you want to get out of jail quickly, but you're not willing to do the work. So let's own that, Jim. Let's own that you just said you want to get out of this system as quickly as possible, and let's reverse engineer your choices and recognize you don't really want it because you are not doing the work. Let's own that. It's okay to own it. I used to say things to my business partner, Michael Santos, in federal prison. Then he'd say, not really. Let's look at your choices over the last week. That's happy talking BS. Yes, it is. That's exactly what you're giving me. So no, I'm not going to take your money just under the idea that we're going to help you get more halfway house time, because can't guarantee you'll get maximum halfway house time, and you're not addressing what is success. Well, what is success for you, in my opinion? What is success for me? Success for you, I think, is recognizing as human beings we make bad choices. I'm sorry, there's an injustice here. You chose to plead guilty. You're going to prison. Your children and family are watching, and you have an opportunity, we think, to build a new record. Improve your legacy and show your children how you can overcome struggle. Show your children how, even if you don't think this is your fault, it is your problem and you responded accordingly. Well, how am I going to do that? Sure. Did you know that you're going to go to federal prison and you're going to meet with a case manager? They're going to look at your PSR. They're going to look at the crime, the sentencing, everything the judge said and wrote about you through the sentencing hearing and that judgment and commitment order, and they're going to determine, who are you? And guess what? When they read that, it ain't going to be good, Jim. It's not going to be good. So to the extent that you can begin to convey a different message, who you are, where you're from, what you've learned, while you'll be productive in prison, but you can't fake that, Jim. You can't make that up. You actually have to do the work. And this comes back to you telling me success is getting out earlier. One, you're making decisions that will not get you out earlier. But even if you did, even if you got lucky, even if you had a sympathetic case manager that said, Jim, I'm going to give you a year in the halfway house, it doesn't change. You are setting yourself up for a miserable life on the other side because you are unwilling to do the work. And she's like, yep. Linda's like, yep. Got a lot of time for TV. Got a lot of time for the snacks. A lot of time to do everything else but prepare for what is coming. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I love you, Jim. I support you. We want to help you. You are making matters worse. We are begging you, as our husband, as the leader of this family, to do more. And it's why we're on the phone with Justin. And it was an uncomfortable part of the phone call because he still didn't want to do it, right? It's very hard going through the system if you feel like you've been wronged. Hundreds of thousands to legal fees and then paying off the restitution to still get a long federal prison sentence. Judge wants to make an example out of you. Then you feel left alone and behind, and you just sort of wake up and say, like, this isn't where I was supposed to be. It's a very humbling part of going through the criminal justice system. We all at one point who go through it wake up and say, this wasn't part of my life trajectory. I'm not supposed to be here. So then Linda said, where do we go next? I said, we shouldn't do anything right now. Jim said he wants to get out as quickly as possible. And he just said, yes, I'm willing to do the work. Let's test it, Jim. Today's Tuesday. I'm going to send you several things you need to read and watch. Let's talk again in 2 days. If you've done the work, you should be more prepared for our next call and have a better understanding of how you can get out quickly, but moreover, have a better life after federal prison. Will you do that work? Yes. And I sent him that work. He watched the work. We spoke 2 days later. And thankfully, our team is working with Jim and Linda. I'll close this video after dropping my kids off at school as I walk back home to shower and go to Los Angeles today, where I'm going to do some filming for a new documentary on white-collar crime I'm leading. I know what all of you want. I know the buzzwords. RDAP, more halfway house time, shorter federal prison sentence, and I'm guilty of articulating that message too, sure. Be careful what you ask for. You may get the shorter sentence, the earlier release, but if you are not setting the right tone and example for your family, you are further behind. If you're not showing how to lead through struggle, you are further behind. Everybody wants it. but are you really willing to do the work? To do that, you need to shake the status quo. I'll also put up a link in this YouTube video to a 5-part podcast series and blog I'm writing about how Aristotle's writings influenced me in federal prison. And one of the second podcast I filmed is Shake the Status Quo. If you're comfortable with where you are right now, our work is of no value for you. Unsubscribe from this channel. Do not watch another damn thing. But if you want to change the narrative, approach this experience differently, and think unconventionally, our team is here to help. Linda, I promised you I would film the video 10 minutes. Thank you for working with our team. Thank you to all of you for watching.